Okay, I believe we are now live in the SG. Let me check my phone because, yeah, I think we are live now. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And again, we are very lucky today to have Dr. Suresh with us, yeah, the founder and CEO of Rex. Thank you so much, Suresh, for agreeing to do
My
this
pleasure.
again. Yeah, because I believe now that a lot of DSG members have started using Rex.
Right.
So they have more questions than ever now. And even myself, when I started using it, I feel that I actually need more. Yeah, I actually need to know what Rex can do more. So
Right.
I let me pass this to you so that you can show us what Rex can do. So go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So today I'm going to talk about something which is very, very new and which we just very recently, maybe just 2.5 weeks old, that we launched, and which is called Key Insights. So I'm going to talk about Key Insights. I'm also going to show you how you can use Key Insights for doing many other different things, inside Racks. And I'll take your questions if you have any questions related to how to use the other features, as well as what Key Insights is all about.
Okay.
Just
So
to give
I
you a
uh,
brief
mm,
introduction about, yeah.
go ahead because I've actually put your screen. Your screen is visible now. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
great.
Mm,
So just to give you a brief introduction, I am Sourish. I'm a professor at one of the technical universities in India. And I also happen to be the CEO and founder of Rax Labs. What we do in Rax Labs is we are obsessed about figuring out how we can make the life of researchers lot easier by figuring out what are the ways in which we can actually help them in doing literature survey, literature review, literature analysis in a lot faster manner and in a lot effective manner at the same time. So on one hand, can we speed it up? But on the other hand, can we also improve the quality at the same time, right? So that's kind of the challenge that we have taken on ourselves. Okay, so today I'm going to show you one such feature that helps you in doing that. So that's, we call it Key Insights. Okay, so just to give you set the context, we are, as researchers, we are constantly fighting this war, this battle against volume and time and memory, right? If you just look at the number of scientific articles, and this is just science, I'm not even talking about technology. uh, every year there are more than 1.8 million articles published. That clearly tells you how much of volume and time, I mean volume and velocity, we are talking about. And if you look at the citation, it's kind of quite alarming to figure out that it's only 90%, only 10% of those papers are actually cited, which means 90% are never cited. And one of the major reasons why they never get cited is because we are battling with time and we are battling with volume. We don't have that much time to actually read all of that. And imagine if we are not able to read all of that, how much of research opportunity we might be missing out on, right? And not to mention the kind of rejections that we keep getting, saying that, well, your method is not really original, or this has been done, something very similar has been done by somebody else, and so on and so forth. Now, I want your attention to this particular statistics that we got out of some extensive survey that it did, and part of the survey was also done in the DSG group. Thanks to Anita for helping us doing those surveys. We found out that a minimum of 72% of the newly published papers do not even make into the reading list. So every year, the number of papers that are getting published, that doesn't even go into your folder in your collection. So imagine how much of that is getting missed out every year. And just the new papers I'm talking about. And then roughly 64% researchers have said that they don't end up reading more than 70% of their collection or their folder. So this is how much of a problem we all are facing, because there's so much of papers that are out there. We like them, we keep adding them in your to-do list, and then it starts getting piled up, right? And then it becomes so overwhelming for us to figure out how to quickly go through them, but at the same time how to get the real key insights out of them, the real essence of those papers, right, without missing on any important thing. So we need the details on one hand, but on the other hand, we don't have the time, and the papers get piling up. So that's why we developed key insights. So just to emphasize and re-emphasize, I keep re-emphasizing this thing, every good paper is actually a great research opportunity. And that's why you really need to stay absolutely focused when you're reading a good paper, right? And that's why one of the reasons is that you can't miss out on the details. That's another problem, of reading good papers. And there can be so many good papers that's lying in your folder, right? So I'll show you. So the key questions that I'm going to address today, and I'm going to show you how key insights, the feature key insights, can help you in addressing these questions. The first problem that we all face, we all know that, is we have this huge to-do list, and we have to decide what should be the next paper to read, right? So that's one major problem and challenge that we all always face. The second thing is that we have to always reprioritize our reading list on the fly, right? So as we move from the different stages of research, as we do our research, we have to keep reprioritizing our reading list. And by the way, we need to make, you need to know this thing, that the reading list is always expanding. So it's not a static reading list, right? You are adding more and more papers, new papers into that reading list. So then, and you always have to reprioritize it. The third problem that we all face is we have to quickly recap, because the more we are reading, the more we are forgetting also. And many times, although we won't forget the overall outline of a particular paper which we have read before, but we might forget certain specific aspects of the paper. And we have to quickly get into that, and quickly dig deep into that particular aspect and recap that, revisit it, recap it, and then try to compare and contrast whatever we recap or whatever we revisit. Like, because research is all about comparing and contrasting. So these are the 4 different things that we keep facing when we are adding more and more papers into our reading list, right? So basically, literature analysis boils down to deeper investigation. So you should not do this, what is there in this particular cartoon, that this guy, reads the abstract, looks at the figure, goes back to the internet, and then comes to his advisor saying that, well, I have read everything and I will be citing all the papers. Don't worry about it. So this is not something that we can do, because this is never going to be good research if we do this, right? So abstract is not good enough. So now we are going to introduce RAC's key insights. So let me go take you to the website. And for those people who are yet to find where RACS is, so you just type raxter.io. That's the website on your web page, and you land on the home page, right? So that's RACS. The sign up process is super simple. It's just a 1 or 2 step sign up process. The login process is also very simple. Once you sign up, what happens is you end up in your project page, right? So this is my project page, and project would mean what? Project would mean research projects, right? So every research project that I create, I would have my own reading list or literature list for each one of these projects, right? Some of these projects may be related to each other. Some of the projects may be completely different. I may create a team, like invite and create a team and do literature survey analysis and other kind of work inside RACS as a team, collectively as a team. or I can also do it as a single, solo. If I don't want to do it with a team, and some of this I can also abandon and archive and so on and so forth. As you can see, some of my projects are also archived, so I can archive the paper if I want to. Right? Okay. So yeah.
Sorry, Suresh. Sorry, can I interject? Is there a maximum number of projects that we can create in Rex,
Right.
or
So
as
yeah.
a
So
premium
I
user?
will
Yeah.
show
So how
you
many?
how many
Hmm.
number of projects you can create. So
Hmm.
for the
Yeah.
okay, this is let me go to the student pricing. So for the student pricing,
Yeah.
okay, so you have up to five projects for the solo. Okay, so this is for the solo.
Right.
When you are into
Okay.
pro, you have 10 projects, and when you are into premium, you have unlimited projects.
Okay. Great. Cool.
Okay,
Because
okay,
that's among the question asked. Yeah. Because maybe what
okay.
the students are thinking is when they want to expand, so then they simply change the license
Right,
type. Right. Okay.
right,
Go
right,
ahead.
right. Simply upgrade
Hmm.
it. Right.
Okay.
So now, okay, so I will go to one of my research projects rather, and I'll show you uh, maybe this one, research paper summarizer, because that's that's actually the key insights research that I did inside racks only. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to show you key insights, and the research happened inside racks. Okay, so when you walk into a particular research project inside racks, the project is divided into, on your left hand side, you see it is divided into your reading list, which is the literature, as you can see over here. Then your drafts, which is the working notes, which means while you're reading papers, you will get all sorts of new ideas, new research questions, ideas about how to design your experiment, and so on and so forth. So you can actually create multiple such drafts and keep, swift, like swapping from the paper that you're reading, again, go back to the draft, jot down something, write your notes so that you don't forget them, again come back to the paper. So you can always do that inside drafts, right? So drafts is primarily meant for all the new ideas and all the things that you would have while you're going through other people's work, while you're critically examining papers or doing literature survey, right? And then suggestions would be those papers, the new additional papers that Rax is always going to show you, depending upon all the different activities that you are doing inside this particular project. So suggestion is very project oriented, in the sense for a different project, the suggestions will be very different. And it is also dependent upon what you are doing right now. So it looks into every 4 hours, it updates itself. It looks into what exactly is bothering you, where exactly you're taking your notes, where exactly you're doing the highlighting, what kind of discussions are happening with your team, or what kind of paper you're reading right now, what kind of other materials you're finding and attaching. So these are the things that give signal to the AI suggestions part, and it will keep on giving you more such stuffs which are related to what you're currently working on, right? And that's kind of the uniqueness over here. Repository would be all the other things that you may have, like which are not papers, but which can be your code. Let's take the code that you are maintaining, or which can be the experimental results in your spreadsheet or whatever format you are maintaining, which can be the other kind of analysis that you're doing in other tools, it can be presentations, PowerPoint presentations that you're preparing. It can be some sort of grant proposal that you're writing and you're attaching over there. So anything and everything that you do in other platforms, you can link it up in repository so that it all comes together nicely organized in the right context of this particular project. So every project will have its own repository, right? And so that you can quickly get back to those things which are doing outside racks very easily. And collaborators is essentially to maintain your collaborators, right? So now I will focus more on the my reading list. So the moment I upload a paper, as you can see over here, what happens is Racks automatically generates something, gives you something called key insights. So without explaining it any further, let me just click on it and then you'll see the magic. Okay, so let's say this is the paper I'm reading, and the moment I click on key insights, within a few seconds, what it does is it actually reads the paper for you. And that's the AI part. It actually reads that entire paper for you. And then what it does is something very interesting and unique. For the first time, you will see it actually picks up all the different research goals or the research questions that this particular paper is addressing. It picks up the approach, and within the approach, it further picks up the originality that has been claimed by the authors. It picks up the method, it picks up research outcomes, and within that, again, it picks up the evaluation setup and goal. It picks up the research data usage, what kind of research data has been generated, what kind of research data has been used, and how it has been applied, and so on. It also picks up observation, and if there are some analysis done on the observation, it will pick that up. It will also pick up what are the possible research opportunities. So that's one thing. And interestingly, let's say you want to decide whether you want to read this paper or not. Now, that decision can be on the basis of research goal, like you quickly read the research goal and you decide whether you want to read it or not. Or it can be on the basis of the originality. So you just click on the originality and the originality section comes in, as you can see, and you just read the originality section and then decide whether you want to read the paper or not comprehensively. Or you may want to say that, no, I just want to read the observation and then decide whether I want to read the paper or not. So you just click on observation over here and the observation section comes in, and it's just 1 or 2 minutes it takes for you to read that. Or you might feel that, no, I just want to see what are the possible research opportunities in this paper. So I just click over there and I just walk into that section. So this cannot be simply possible with an abstract, as you can clearly see. You don't have all this information in an abstract. You really have to read the entire paper to actually do this sort of decision, in-depth decision, right? Aspect-oriented decision, like what particular aspect of the paper is actually triggering you to decide whether whether you want to read the paper or not. And it will completely depend upon which stage of research you are in, right? Or at what stage of the research you are essentially. Some people might think, that I want to only look into the research goal and then decide. Some people might think that, no, I want to just look into the methodology and then decide. Some people might think that, no, I want to look into the evaluation setup and then decide, right? Some people might think
sorry, Suresh. So it is actually very useful because we are reading like hundreds of papers, and then these insights can help us to choose, right? And
right,
I cannot find any other ways of using Rex. I think this is so important to understand, the way to use insights. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
And if you want more details, you can go into the detailed insights as you over here. And now you see more such buckets. We call it buckets, like scope of the research goals or assumptions made in the paper, like the presumptions made in the paper. What are the assumptions made in the paper? Comparisons and adaptations, you see, more details coming in, right? Evaluation method, what was the evaluation method, right? Speculations discussed by the authors. You see, so it goes into even further deeper down, and then it gives you a very clear idea of what the paper is, depending upon the specific aspect.
Yeah,
right?
Is this feature already live for a free trial member? It is live. Yeah. So we get to try it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Yes. So Anita, you remember last time when we were discussing, I said that this is something very cool that is going to come up. Now it has actually come up.
Yeah,
it's live for last 2.5 weeks.
Right. Okay. And I believe the members should try it once they have created their own project in Rex. They should go and try this because I think this will change a lot of things. Yeah, for you to try and understand the whole thing.
Another use case of key insights is that imagine that you are now reading so many papers and you will forget certain specific things, right? Also, let's say you have already read the paper and you are now coming and let's say that I'm like, hey, what was the key research goal of this paper, or what was the novelty of this paper? Now, If I don't have key insights, I have to again read the paper everywhere and try to figure out what was novel, what was original about it. But if I just click on key insights, what happens is I just immediately go to the possible originality, or maybe at the detail level, I go to the possible originality. And now I have the detailed, all the different originality that the author have claimed. So it becomes so easy for me to even recap or revisit if I forget particular specific aspects of the paper. So it's not only about deciding whether to read this paper or not, but it's also to coming back to that paper and quickly doing a recap. So it helps you to recapping, which is one of the strongest use case of
Yeah.
insights. Now I'm going to show you something of how you can actually use key insights to use the other features, wonderful features of RACs. So let me go into this paper, right? And let me open this paper. Now I can double click on the paper and I can open the paper. Now I am currently in my, so this is my reading room, or this is my analysis room, or examining room, okay? So this is where I examine this paper. So the moment you open the paper, what RACS does is that it by default gives you all the other papers that are that also deals with the same problem. It automatically suggests you over here on the right hand panel, as you can see, right? And if you want some of them, you can attach them, you can add to literature, you can click on add to literature if you think that that's something that you want to read in details. Then you can add it and it goes into your reading list over here, right? So that's one thing. Now, every paper, again, you see the key insights inside as well. So with every paper, you have the key insights as well, okay? As you can see. Now, a very interesting way, use cases, imagine that you have hundreds of paper or 50 paper or even 30 paper. Now, that's too much. Papers are long, papers are dense. And let's say that you have to read a paper. You have, based on that, you have to, read more papers while you're reading that paper. And on the basis of that, you have to make a report. And let's say that you have to create a report within the next 15 days or 10 days or maybe even tomorrow. Now, how to do that? That's kind of like, it will take a lot of time to keep making reports. And in research, we have to make reports, in terms of what we read over the last 2 months or what we read over the last 3 months, right? So, we always have to give presentations and all those sort of things. So that is part of the process of PhD, right, or research. So what you can do over here is, instead of reading the paper, let's say I don't have the time right now. I just have 5 days to go through 50 papers and make a report. So what I will do is, instead of reading the paper right now over here, I can go to the key insights. And then what I can do, I can say that, okay, let me go to possible originality. And let me figure out whether there are other papers related to this original or whatever has been told in this statement. So I will select it, and then over on the right hand side, you see all sorts of research materials that you can dig out, which are related to what you just selected. So again, I'm going to do this. You select this particular statement, which is the one of the originality claimed by the author, and then you try to figure out how. Let's say that your question is, are there other papers that are related to this technique? Did any other people, did something which is related, or how new is it? How much new is it, right? Or how much novel or how much original it is. So what you can do, select this section, click on research papers. This is the research paper icon. And RACS understands the meaning of this, this selected section, and picks up those papers that are related to this particular section. As you can see, it could understand that, it uses a particular algorithm called Smith-Waterman algorithm. Now, it's actually an algorithm that uses dynamic programming. So you could understand that Smith-Waterman algorithm is based on dynamic programming, and not just that, it also understood that it is related to document clustering. So it won't just give you any kind of dynamic programming. Because dynamic programming is used It's a very general algorithm, okay? It's used in multiple different fields. It did not do that. RAX is intelligent enough to figure out, okay, what you need is dynamic programming, but in the context of document similarity and document clustering, and in the context of sequence alignment. And then you can attach that paper. So this is a very easy and fast way of getting hold of all the papers that matter to you. Let's say that similarly, I can walk into research data usage, and I can now say, okay, let me see that other papers that are related to this, the data set that has been discussed over here. So as you can see, I got some papers that are related to the data set that has been discussed over here. Or,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. What about I have a question, Shurish. What
Yeah.
about if I have some keywords? Yeah. So just now you highlighted the whole paragraph, right?
Right.
So what about if I just want to find certain keywords, which
Right.
are other
So
papers about that? Is that
so let's
possible?
say so let's say yeah, that you are
Mm.
reading this section, okay, this particular section, and
Mm.
let's say you came across this concept, stochastic
Yeah.
gradient descent, and you are very new to it,
Okay.
or you don't know
Mm.
what that means. So then what you can do is you can select this concept, and then either you can go and look for research papers related to this concept, or more interestingly, you can actually say that, okay, I don't have the time to read another research paper and understand this concept. What do? I go to wiki articles.
Right.
I
Okay.
can quickly figure out what are all the wiki articles that are related. Like as an example, you got this stochastic gradient descent, and I would attach it, and it gets attached
Mm. Okay.
as a
Cool.
wiki
So
article.
that
Or I
you
may want to
yeah
look for
learning
an
on the
online
go.
lecture.
Mm.
Online
Okay.
lecture as well, Anita. So I can go for
Wow.
an online lecture,
Yeah.
or I can go for a magazine article, which is a easy reading. Okay, so I can
Yeah.
go for a magazine article. See, stochastic gradient descent clearly explained, coming from some of the top-notch. We handpick only and only top-notch magazines and working notes and technical drafts coming out of top-notch labs, research labs, right? So these are all those sort of magazines, Science, Nature, Scientific American, all those sort of stuffs. And
Yeah.
you can also
Okay.
attach that. But
Mm.
if you
So
think
it
that, well,
confirms.
yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. It just confirms my idea that using Rex, you can actually remain on the platform and just do your work online and everything is there, right? So that's the
right,
idea.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
while you are reading this, suddenly a new idea comes in, and you say, hey,
Mm.
maybe I can do something like that. And then what do? You go to draft. So you can click on draft, and you can actually create a draft, add either a new draft or come back to a particular draft, and you can actually open it up on a new tab or something, and you can immediately continue writing over there, whatever new ideas came in, and again come back to the paper. So that's an amazing way in which you can read a paper as you're getting new ideas. You go to the draft, you keep building on there, and then while you're building on there, you also have these assistants, all these different resources as you are writing, which means that, let's say that, um, I'll show you with an example. So let's say this is a draft, and as I'm writing this, I may want to look for more research papers related to this thing. So I select it, again I go for research papers related to this particular thing. And as you can see, I got that, right? So that's an amazing way. So which means that this particular panel is always with you, because you can always feel that need. Hey, I want to look more. I want to understand more. Now, whether it is during the reading time or whether it is during the writing time, it can happen anytime, right? Am I audible?
Yeah. And
Okay.
yeah. We can hear you. And I think that's the beauty of Rex, whereby not only while you are reading your papers, you can also explore while you are writing. So it's like
Right.
reading, writing, interweave with your thinking, further
Interweave.
explore, right? So yeah,
Right.
because this is how I explain Rex to when they come to me and ask, okay, Anita, can you explain the summary of Rex, what it can do? And I said, it's not fair for me to tell you. You have to use it. Yeah. So and
Yeah.
that's why we've been encouraging the members to start using the 45 days free trial. But of course,
Right.
this will help them a lot. Yeah. Okay.
So also you can form a team. Like you can share this key
Mm.
insight and the paper with your team, and you can email your particular lab mate or supervisor,
Mm.
and you can start forming a discussion thread over it.
Yeah.
And I'll
And
show
I
you
believe,
an example of
yeah,
Discover thread. Maybe
yeah.
this is one paper. I'll show you one example how you can
Okay.
actually do a discussion thread.
And I think
So
this is so important during COVID-19 where everybody is
yeah,
working in their own space,
you
right?
can you
And
can
you're
form yeah
mm. Okay.
you can form literally a virtual journal club
Mm.
on a
Yeah.
particular paper, and you can
Yeah.
create critiques like this where we automatically populate with these questions. You can change the questions according to your
Yeah.
own problem, and you can write critiques. And what happens after writing critique is your the people who are associated, your collaborators can comment on the critique, and
Yeah.
can there's a discussion thread just like Google Docs,
Ah, right. Okay. Wow.
right?
As an
That
English
can
teacher,
happen.
this gets me. This is what we do, during English class.
Right.
Especially, the arguments and all that. Wow, this is really interesting.
Absolutely. And this
Yeah.
can be
Okay.
so powerful
Mm.
because the professor can take his own time or her own time to figure out how you are reviewing a paper. And you don't have to, like, you know, you really don't have to, write lengthy reviews. Just bullet
Mm.
points will also do. Short bullet points under the right
Yep.
research questions,
Yep.
right? And you can also do it over here like this. You can also comment on the paper itself, and over there also there can be a thread, as you can see.
Mm.
So you can comment on the critique, you can comment on the paper, and you can have your own private note. So the difference so this is private note, and this
Mm.
is note which you collaborate. So you can keep your private notes also, which is not going to be seen by other people
Yeah.
whom you are collaborating, so that otherwise it becomes too clumsy a lot of times.
Exactly. Yeah. And I believe sometimes we write our own notes first before sharing with our supervisors,
Right,
right? So
right.
yeah, so that's a good idea. Okay.
So you
Hmm.
can first create your critique, and after that you can share
Okay.
when you're ready with that. And again, while critiquing, also you can do the same thing. You can actually select things and any. So this is like anywhere you can do this.
Mm. This is
Okay.
so powerful. This is so
Yeah.
powerful. And I've now among the comments, we need more training. So I do believe that we will have maybe we'll discuss with Kitol, how to arrange this, because I think what they need to know is, if let's say we can decide on one topic, and then you can demo starting from
Yes.
creating the
Yes.
project,
I want to do that.
getting the papers. Yeah, I think we should do that. I think you're getting
So
everybody excited. Yeah.
yeah. So far, if I only look into, because my discussion point was
Mm,
purely key insights. I
yeah.
showed you. I know I showed you a lot of other things, but
Yeah.
anybody who has any questions on key insights, let's just
Mm,
address that first.
yeah. Okay. Right. So if I can just go to the question. So this is I believe the earlier on, describe more. So I believe you have described quite a number of things. Among some questions that I've gotten is, can they do systematic literature review on Rex, which I believe they
Right.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the
I
critique. This is where you can
yeah.
do systematic
Yeah.
review.
Yeah. I think yeah, that can easily be done with that. Yeah. Whereby you pull all the papers that you want to analyze,
Yeah.
and then you can
Yeah.
definitely
Uh,
do
yeah.
that. Right. Okay. And among the questions are about the price. So one person asked, so I told him it's 60 USD, yeah, per year, which is actually very, very affordable. for this
Yeah.
kind of powerful platform, yeah, that you get
Yeah.
to use. Hang on, let me go again. Um, okay, thank you for introducing a new item for research. All right. And lastly, that was the more training. Okay, is there anyone else would like to ask about
Okay,
anything about key
one
insight?
point about the
Mm,
training. If you want
mm,
to quickly get to the different features, each feature we
yeah.
have a very short video tutorial in on
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can go
Yeah.
to YouTube, you can subscribe, please subscribe,
Mm.
and we have short tutorials over there.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So what we've been doing is maybe Suresh, what we'll do later is every other day I will simply I will actually upload the videos to the SG because sometimes from YouTube tutorial
Right,
and then once we upload to the SG it's more visible. So I'm gonna do
right,
that because I believe that they actually need to start using it. I mean, once they see
right,
the video tutorials and then start using it and they will
right.
understand more.
Right.
Wow.
One more thing,
Okay. Mm.
we have actually started doing the Saturday YouTube live, Saturdays with
Mm.
Sourish. So
Right.
do join
Okay.
that as well. Yeah,
Okay.
we will
Okay.
post that on DSG. The
Right.
time whenever
Yes.
we do every week we do
Okay.
it.
Wow. That will be very useful. So that every week we'll get to see the life in action, and I think that's so useful. I
Right,
believe that Kitul has actually put twice too, and what I'll do is I'll put in a. I believe we need actually a specific section for Rex. I'll pull all the videos together and put it
right,
under Rex folder. Then it makes it easier for them to find. Okay, I believe maybe not now. Maybe they have questions later. Is there anything
right.
else, Suresh, that you wanna? Yeah.
Today
Is
I
there
want to
anything
just
else you wanna?
focus on this, and that would be it.
Mm,
So that's
yeah.
that's what I want to focus on. So one thing I want to tell
Yeah.
you is just the final thing, that
Mm,
this is not just a plain simple summarizer, as you can
yeah.
understand.
Yes, we
Okay,
can
so
see
it's
that.
not just
Yes.
another summarizer. Okay,
And it gives
so
more. Yeah, it gives more to
yeah,
it. Okay. Mm.
right.
Okay.
All right.
And actually,
So
yeah,
yeah,
thank you so much. I just have one feedback from one lady user. She's saying
okay,
that all the visuals are very interesting. She found that the visuals that you use in the website, and I believe it
right.
caters to the visual kind like me. I'm a very visual person, so this kind of thing make
Okay,
research fun, like you said, yeah.
yeah,
And we don't feel it's a bore, to see the platform as complex as Rex, and keep telling them this is AI, this is the future. They say it's not really the future; it's already happening now, and everybody should start
yeah,
using it. I believe, yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah.
oh, one last comment. It show sounds very good for survey review paper. Yes, I believe so. So, to all of you, the SG members who have not signed up for free trial,
Signed up.
go
Yeah.
ahead to. I'll put the link later, but you can definitely go to Rexter.io, and
And sign up. And please,
try
Anita,
and use it unless you use it.
provide your referral.
Yes, I will put
Give them your referral
yeah
link.
my
Yeah.
referral link so that it comes from here. So thank you so much, Suresh, for your time today. I believe this is very an eye opener session. Yeah, not to just
We
to
will
them
do
but also
more.
to
We
me
will do more
because
of
I
such things. Yeah.
yeah we can do more, and I'm also currently writing some papers, and it has been very very helpful because the way we process papers are not the same as before. Everything is
Right.
online and we have to really be quick and clever about this, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
if they have any questions later, I'll pass it to Kitu.
Sure.
But I believe,
Sure.
I believe everybody is now excited about using Rex. So thank you so much again. um uh we hope to follow, yeah, whatever that you're doing, and
Sure.
on Saturdays with Suresh. I think that's a good
Yeah.
title, Saturdays with Suresh. That is so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
everyone who has
Yeah.
joined
Bye
us.
bye.
So
Bye.
I'm just
Thanks.
gonna end the
And stay
broadcast.
very safe and healthy. All of you.
Yes,
Stay very safe and
yes,
healthy.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Suresh.
Bye.
So have a good evening. Yeah.
Yeah. You too.
Okay,
Bye
bye.
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 Bye.